I am Larry, body, mind, spirit connection and conduit of the Creator's love and light in this earth. Episode 2: School, Energy, and Conscious Use of the Universal Life Force. I had found my own energy, but yes, I did not know what to do with it. I began meditating on this particular aspect of my life and found that I was not getting the answers that I was expecting. I decided to ask Jesus about this loss of direction. He said, "Larry, as a shepherd, it is not your energy which counts, but that which you transmit to your flock." Great. Another parable that I would have to figure out. I started using these words, energy, transmit, flock, while meditating. Here's what I came up with. The person that has the energy to use on behalf of someone else or for the benefit of someone else is actually a conduit. So that's what I was, a conduit. Okay, I could understand this, but now it brought about another question. What am I a conduit of? I realized that I still had a long way to go before I figured out things, and that I had better focus on my classes and graduating and taking the Virginia State exam for massage therapist and getting on with my life. With the first semester of school under my belt and my new augmented approach to the second semester, I did not feel the stress that I had had before. In fact, I felt very good, and things just seemed to fall into place. As with other things, the answers to questions were about to present themselves. As I said in my first podcast, I always have had a keen interest in energy and all of its forms, and now I wanted to understand what type of energy I was feeling in my body and what it could do. One of the assignments of class was to take a subject matter in the whole spiritual and medical understandings that we were learning and to present it to the class for a grade. I had a feeling that what I was getting into was termed in the United States as Reiki, and I launched into the study and the understanding of this particular type of energy. I did many hours of searching the internet for what I felt was right for me. I knew I could not compare myself to an ascended master Buddhist monk or something like that, but I needed to find something that was developed by a simple person. I was perusing the ARE bookstore and came across a book entitled Reiki Healer, a complete guide to the path and practice of Reiki. Need I say it? Bingo! I bought the book and started reading it at lunchtime. It was everything I was looking for and much more. I felt like I could be the master's shadow. The master was the man who found and developed Reiki as it is today, Dr. Mikao Usui. His ancestors could be traced back 11 centuries to the Chiba clan, who were once an influential samurai family in Japan. His family also belonged to the Tendai sect of Buddhism. He was born in 1865 to an upper-class system and received a privileged education and started martial arts when he was only 12 years old and studied weaponry and grappling. I really don't know what grappling is, but that's what the book says. I don't think I ever came across the information that told me what type of doctor he was, but it doesn't really matter, because even to this day there are few doctors who practice Reiki. Like me, he had traveled to many lands, experienced many religions, as his path unwound and he became who he was. If you'd like to read more about this interesting person and the practice of Reiki, I am sure you can find this book on Amazon or elsewhere. It is written by Lawrence Elyard, that's spelled Elyard, who is also a Reiki teacher and the founder and director of the International Institute for Reiki Training. I was completely taken by the information and devoted much time to understanding and the practice of Reiki. I learned the sacred symbols, the movements of the hands, the meditation, and yet I knew that this too was complicated, and it wouldn't be for most people. As a side note, I did get an A for my class presentation. Now I knew that there was a way to bring in energy which is termed the universal life force, and to use this energy by allowing it to flow through your body to the benefit of others as well as to yourself through conscious intent of healing. I began to use my newfound power and help my classmates feel better whenever they came and asked me to use the Reiki on them. I also learned that I could use it while providing the specific type of massage that we were learning in the ARE classes. It seemed to enhance the outcome and decrease the time necessary for a positive result. I have published several of the class evaluation forms that were required every time there was an individual being provided this special Casey Riley method of massage that we were learning here at the ARE. You can see these class evaluation forms and other documents concerning Reiki and the ARE on your website, www.bmsc4unity.net. Learning and using Reiki was the beginning of my understanding of the whole, which is the body, mind, spirit. Combining meditation, Reiki, the learning of the human body and all its systems, and the awakening of my deep spirituality was just the beginning of realizing who and what I am. Each aspect, each day, each week, and each month was like learning pre-med and attending college for my doctorate in philosophy and theology. We actually crammed 2 years of pre-med into 2 semesters of 4 months each and survived. It wasn't easy by any long shot, but if you have the intent to be of service to your brothers and sisters in the same way that I am, then it is your only possibility to learn all you need to grasp as the basics and experience all you need to experience at this time. Good luck. The primary instructors were tasked with saying a little something about each student as they were called forth during graduation ceremonies to receive their diploma. I'll never forget that I was called up by one of the professors saying that I was the oldest student in the class and deserved being called professor. We were handed our certificates of graduation and a book entitled The Edgar Cayce Companion. I didn't think much about it then, but shortly realized the immense value that it represented. It has been my Bible for much of what makes up my present beliefs in the body, mind, spirit, and our place in the Creator's universe. Shortly after graduating, I took the state exam for massage therapist and passed it on my first try. I might add, I passed it with a better than average grade despite that we studied approximately 20% of the wrong material because we were being taught a specialized massage therapy, which did not associate that which was common. Next step would be to specialize in what I considered to be absolutely necessary to round out my education before I would attempt to help anyone. This was to attend the Academy of Lymphatic Studies in Florida, a very intense period of putting everything that I had learned into practice and understanding the entire lymphatic system. I did not graduate with the rest of the students in my class. I have found out, however, that despite this, apparently I absorbed every single bit of information that we were taught. It seems that the challenges that I had in my first semester at school had raised their ugly head again, and it was just too much for me to take. I now use my lymphatic system knowledge on every client that I have. I have found that it is imperative that the lymphatic system be fully operational for any healing to take place. An interesting event took place when I returned on the flight from Florida to Virginia. I heard a call over the loudspeaker system for anyone that had a medical background. I thought, why not see if I can do anything for whoever is ill? There was a doctor on board, and he went to talk to the stewardess. I followed and explained that I could provide Reiki. He said that he didn't need my type of help and told me to go sit back down. As I was going back down the plane, I saw the pain this man was going through and decided to use my Reiki anyway, to alleviate the pain from his body. Meanwhile, the doctor was trying to figure out what his problem was, and he gave him some sort of shot. I returned to my seat in the front of the aircraft and began to envision the pain and located it in his stomach. I even could sense that what was happening was associated with a hiatal hernia. When I had looked at him as I was going to my seat, I could see several empty small bags of potato chips in his seat that he had eaten. Judging by his size and his large belly, he probably ate chips very quickly, and now it felt like his upper stomach was being cut by a knife. I brought the universal life force into his body and had it unblock the food from the hernia and soothe his pain by relaxing his sympathetic nervous system. It took me almost 20 minutes of conscious intent to make a difference, but it worked. When we were deplaning in Washington, the stewardess, having seen me move my hands and arms in a continuous pattern with my closed eyes, asked me what I was doing. I explained to her, and she blessed me. She gave me a kiss, and she had heard the passenger say that something had made his pain go away and that he could not feel any more pain, but he felt like it was some sort of energy. I told the stewardess to let him know that he had a hiatal hernia and that he needed medical attention. She said that she would tell him about me and give him my message. I took several weeks off for reflection and meditation as to what my next step would be. It was natural for me to assume that I would get a job and start providing my services to the Creator's children and make a good salary from the use of my education. This did not take place. In fact, by the time that I had paid for my state license to practice massage therapy, my business license, and experience trying to work for others, I found that this was not where I would make the impact that I was intended to make. I was now consciously talking to Jesus and spending time in meditation as to what I should do and where I should go. It became clear that I could not do what I was intended to do by living where I was living, which was with my companion in a small town in Virginia, outside Washington, D.C. The universe was pointing me to another move, but would it be in the United States or another country? This is the end of this episode. I hope that you have enjoyed it and that it resonates with you. The next episode, number 3, will reveal my quest for the right location and the key body, mind, spirit experiences during my first 2 years. Send your comments to info@bmsc4unity.net. I leave you in the love and the light that is the one infinite Creator.